Hello my friends, how are y'all? It's a beautiful Saturday and it's nice and sunny and warm outside. I've just come back from my walk and just feels so good, getting that sun in you. We've had rain since the last few days and it's just like kept me inside. During this walk of mine, I was just thinking about new habits. What are the habits that I have picked up? One of the things which I've started doing on a consistent basis, and I do it regularly, clockwork, is going for my regular walks, which I was not doing it. So I've made it into a habit now that twice a day I try to make it is to go out, do my walks and come back, which is for my health purpose. The other thing I started doing is writing. I've started putting a lot of material down, which is doing my journaling constantly, which I was kind of like missing out on. So I do my journaling every day. And there are other bits and pieces that I have started. So I wanted to ask you, what habits have y'all picked up? What have y'all doing in order to bring in new habits which can transform your life when the lockdown opens, when we don't have the lockdown anymore? Because you have to understand, the life before the lockdown is not going to be the same once the lockdown gets lifted. It's going to be very different. A lot of new things are going to be coming into place. For example, homeschooling is probably going to become more now because of the way people are experiencing it, with the technology and all that. Working from home is going to be a lot more. I'm finding it a lot more comfortable to work from here in any case. And I've been doing it before, but now I feel I should be putting a lot more working from home. So it reminded me of the book which I had read during my early personal development time. Bob Proctor had told me to read it. It was Maxwell Maltz, Psycho-Cybernetics. It was the second most powerful book after Think and Grow Rich. And in that, Maxwell talks about it takes 21 days for any habit to change. So if you're bringing in a new habit, something that you want to create for yourself, something new that you want to do, you've got to do it for 21 days consistently for the new one to come in place. Now, it does not mean that the old one disappears. It's just that the old one becomes a bit dormant and the newer one becomes more in strength because you're continuously using it and you're putting the energy into the new habit. One of the best ways to do or change a habit, which I took a challenge upon a few years back, which was in the paradigm shift course which I was doing with Bob Proctor, was to take an affirmation, because we often use affirmations, hoping that it'll change across. We take an affirmation and we keep repeating it to ourselves. So you take an affirmation and you write it down first time with the right hand. The dominant hand that you have, whether you're using your left as a dominant hand or your right hand, which is a dominant hand, you write it with that hand. And then the same sentence or the same affirmation which you've written, write it with the non-dominant hand. And you will realize how difficult it is. Your words are going to go all over the page. It's going to be a struggle. The reason why, because your mind, it's going to be putting your mind into a challenge. You have to understand that your subconscious mind wants to keep you alive. And any sort of out of alignment that is there, any sort of a challenge that you're putting across, the subconscious mind thinks that it's going to die. So it's going to pull you back and put you in your comfort zone. You've been using the dominant hand, you've stayed alive, there's no reason for you to change. That's one of the reasons it likes to keep you in that way. It brings out the fear, the stress, the anxiety by creating that, hoping that you will not change. So the same thing is, it's very difficult to change any habit. Going to the gym, you have to consistently do in order to build your muscles up. In the same way, if you take a sentence and put in the positive words inside, for example, you want to make more money, then you just write down, I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantity from multiple sources. It has to be in present tense. If you want to reduce weight, you say the same thing. I'm so happy and grateful now that I have reduced my weight to the weight that you want. or the partner that you've had. Bring it into the present tense and repeat it and write it with the non-dominant hand, because you will put so much energy and so much effort in putting it correctly. It's going to be difficult, but after a while, it will become easy. And within a few days, you will be writing it in the same way that you will be writing with your dominant hand. And that's when the change starts to happen. So give it a shot, but also remember that whatever affirmations you're doing, you also have to work for it. It's like Tony Robbins had said I remember Tony Robbins saying, that we keep repeating affirmations that I don't have weeds in my garden, but if you look outside, there are weeds there. So you've got to actually go and pull the weeds out, right? So you just can't think and wish that you're going to get it. You need to think and wish, but you also need to go and work towards it. All right, my friend, hope this is helpful. Until next time, this is Aslam Shawal. I'll see you soon.